About that.
I
He came out smiling, relaxed, walking with the kind of confidence only a man with no idea of what waits for him can have. The lights hit him, the crowd roared, and for a moment he believed the story he told himself, that he could beat Naoya Inoue, that the monster was overrated, that all it took was pressure, bravery, and a loud prediction to conquer one of the most violent talents this sport has ever seen. But predictions are cheap. Reality, especially inside a ring with Inoue, is merciless. Because Naoya Inoue did not walk into that ring to prove a point. He didn't come to entertain. He came to end discussion. All of it. Every word, every insult, every doubt. 1 minute in, the challenger reached out with a jab, thinking he could test the waters. But Inoue didn't slip it. He erased it. A movement so sharp, it was like watching a shadow disappear. And then came the counter. A right hand that traveled with the speed of a verdict. It detonated on the challenger's skull. And in an instant his legs gave out, his eyes went empty, and the entire arena erupted into a sound that mixed awe, terror, and the realization that they were witnessing a level of violence only one man alive can produce. Inoue didn't admire his work. He didn't pause. What makes Naoya Inoue terrifying isn't just power, it's purpose. He surged forward like a machine programmed for elimination. A left hook, a right cross, a body shot that folded flesh, an uppercut that lifted the challenger off balance. It wasn't a combination. It was a sentence. A sequence of perfect execution from a man who fights as if he's teaching a lesson to the entire sport. Seconds later, the same fighter who spent weeks calling Inoue overrated was unable to stand. Doctors crowded around him, and the arena fell silent as everyone realized the truth. When you call Naoya Inoue overrated, you're not provoking a response. You're writing your own ending. That was a reality check, swift, brutal, final. But the brutality of boxing has never belonged to a single man. Because across eras, across generations, greatness has come in waves. And sometimes, that greatness looks like a storm wearing a smile. Like Manny Pacquiao. The version of him the world now remembers as a hero was not the version legends feared. No, there was once a Manny Pacquiao so savage, so electrically violent, that even his own trainers whispered in the gym, "How is this human?" That Manny Pacquiao wasn't the senator, wasn't the friendly icon. He was poor, hungry, homeless, and fighting because the alternative was hunger. Every punch meant one more day of survival. That kind of desperation forged something the sport had never seen. His early fights weren't chess matches. They were street wars taped inside a ring. He fought men with reputations, and he took pieces of those reputations home with him. Then came the moment the world woke up. The night he destroyed Lelo Ledwaba. Speed, chaos, destruction. Commentators couldn't believe their eyes. Who was this Filipino kid who moved like a blur and punched like he was fueled by fury alone? The answer came in the fights that followed. He tore into Marco Antonio Barrera with relentless pressure, breaking down a fighter considered untouchable. Barrera had seen champions. He had fought the best of Mexico, but he had never fought anything like this version of Pacquiao. The pace, the angles, the violence. It was something else entirely. Then came Ricky Hatton, a national hero, undefeated, beloved. Pacquiao ended that fight with one left hand that made even Floyd Mayweather's face drop in shock. Hatton didn't just lose, he vanished from the elite overnight. Miguel Cotto, too big, too strong? Pacquiao walked him down with a grin, throwing six-punch combinations like he was playing with the laws of physics. Cotto's face broke. His body refused to continue. He surrendered in the 12th. Not because he lacked courage, but because no man can keep standing in front of a storm with gloves on. What made Pacquiao terrifying wasn't just power. It was speed that made fighters blink and miss the punch that broke them. Angles that didn't exist on paper. Combinations thrown with the savagery of a man who remembered every hungry night of his childhood. He fought like a weapon, and he didn't leave opponents the same. He was a force of nature, a demon in red gloves. And for 7 years, from 2003 to 2010, he might have been the most terrifying fighter the sport has ever seen. But eras evolve, legends fade, and new monsters rise. Today, Naoya Inoue carries that torch: precision, violence, a clinical sense of finality. And he has no shortage of men who swear they want to take him down. Some don't know what they're asking for. Others might just be crazy enough to try. Like David Picasso, the fearless young Mexican sensation who stood up and called out the monster himself. Not quietly, not cautiously. No, Picasso said he was preparing like it was the last fight of his life. Preparing to break limits. Preparing to go to war. And maybe he believes that's enough. Maybe he believes youth and hunger can rewrite the world. But calling out a monster comes with consequences. Because Inoue isn't just a puncher, he's a reader. He reads opponents the way a surgeon reads anatomy. Every twitch becomes an opening. Every mistake becomes a disaster. Against men like Stephen Fulton and Marlon Tapales, he didn't win. He performed autopsies in real time. Fulton came in confident, left broken. Tapales survived seconds longer, but the result was the same. Picasso brings height, reach, Mexican grit, and the confidence of youth. But confidence doesn't stop body shots that feel like they're launched from the Earth's core. Confidence doesn't protect you when you're exchanging punches with a man who can counter faster than you can think. Still, Picasso's bravery makes the matchup compelling. Taller, ringer, unpredictable, undefeated. A young lion stepping into the cage of something more than a lion, something closer to myth. But even within Japan itself, threats rise. Ganakatani, long, sharp, deadly with either hand. He's one of the few fighters with the size and footwork to truly test Inoue's limits. And fans dream of a clash between the two. A war not just for belts, but for the soul of Japanese boxing. A fight where every exchange would be a battle of timing versus distance, precision versus angle, power versus discipline. A collision of two men at the top of their craft. If that day ever comes, the country might stop moving for 12 rounds. Because when a monster meets someone who refuses to blink, that's when the sport finds out if legends grow or fall. But if you want proof that violence grows with divisions, look no further than Jaron Bootsenis. A man rising, a man feared, a man entering a new weight class like he owns it. When he stepped into the ring against Wisma Lima at 154 pounds, people wondered if his power would carry up. They got their answer in less than 2 minutes. The right uppercut that dropped Lima should be archived in textbooks. The perfect punch from a man switching stances mid-combination. Lima had never been dropped that hard. He got up, but he was unconscious on his feet. Ennis followed with a hook that sounded like a drum splitting. Lima collapsed again, and by the time the referee stopped it, Ennis had introduced himself to the super welterweights with the subtlety of a hand grenade. Men like Ennis and Inoue remind the world what happens when natural talent meets obsession. They don't fight to win. They fight to dominate. They fight to end hope. And that's exactly what Naoya Inoue did to Akhmadaliev, the former unified champion, the man many believed would finally give the monster problems. But problems don't exist when your timing is flawless. The moment the bell rang, Inoue began writing another chapter in his book of controlled destruction. A clean jab, a right hand that split the guard, body shots delivered with surgeon-like cruelty. MJ fought with pride. He fought with heart. He fought with everything a champion is supposed to fight with. And he still lost almost every round. That's Inoue. He doesn't just beat world champions. He rearranges their beliefs. Still, boxing is a sport of imagination. And fans ask impossible questions. What if Picasso actually beat Inoue? What if the young lion shocked the world? Imagine it. Round 9. Inoue applying pressure, cutting distance with that predatory efficiency. Picasso refusing to break. Then suddenly an uppercut. Clean. Perfect. The monster goes down, the arena explodes, and the referee counts. 1, 2, 3. History flips upside down. A new star is born. And Inoue, humbled, begins the path of revenge. That's boxing. One punch can rewrite everything. And that's why we watch. Because inside every fight is the possibility of greatness, heartbreak, or disaster. These men walk into a ring knowing that a single mistake can change their legacy forever. They fight for pride, for history, for something deep inside them that the rest of us will never fully understand. And we watch because we want to witness those moments, the creation of legends, the fall of giants, the rise of monsters. So now the question is yours. Which fighter story do you want next? Which legend? Which era? Which war should we break down? Tell us in the comments. Hit like if you felt the impact of every punch in this story. Subscribe if you want more cinematic breakdowns, more deep dives, more raw, unfiltered storytelling from the world's most violent art. Because here, every punch tells a story, and some punches echo forever.